Hey, I'm Rusty Kath, and we're about to talk about augmented reality and its role in solving today's operational and maintenance problems. And I've got just the guy to help us along the way. It's Emerson's Rich Carpenter. Rich, so from your point of view, what are the main challenges facing your customers right now?
Yeah, well, there's a number of challenges that are happening in the industry today. First of all, there's a general shortage of workers, and there's an even bigger shortage of knowledge workers. And we all know that it's hard to find those type of people. And so you've got a demographic shift that's going on where the knowledge is exiting, and it's hard to find new people that come in and can do the same type of work. The people that do come in are highly educated, they're smart people, but they work completely differently. They're, rather than putting their hand on the machine and sort of hearing the noise and knowing what the problem is, they're more likely to type into Google, I'm hearing this type of noise, finding something equivalent, getting a procedure, and then actually trying to address that. So they work completely differently than the current generation. Both are good, both are productive, but couldn't be further apart.
All right, let's get back to AR. Could you elaborate more on the real world understanding of how to apply AR?
Yeah, I think you really have to almost throw out the media version of augmented reality, where you have this digital representation of the real world and you immerse yourself in that. That's not what we're talking about here. We really think of reality being what's happening in the real world that you see and touch and feel, and augmented, getting additional information to what you see so that you can make information that somebody without that data that's coming from the controls would be able to make. So really put the two together. It's augmented based on digital information, the reality that we're experiencing.
What is the core customer challenge that Emerson has in mind with these AR applications?
Well, as you have these knowledge workers come into the workforce and they don't have the same expertise that the people that are leaving is, how do you transfer that knowledge and how do you make them productive? So one thing that people do often is have a central control room area where the limited set of experts exist, and then more technician-oriented people or people in training in the plant, and they can communicate with each other through this augmented reality. They can see the same thing, they can get advice. If they need to, they can pull up a maintenance procedure and actually start to operate that procedure. And so really they can operate as if they have the same level of experience, even though they're relatively new to the workforce.
So obviously there are some gaps. What happens if companies do nothing to bridge this age gap?
Yeah, this is a serious problem. If you don't properly transfer the knowledge and at least the expertise and the tools, then you're going to have problems. The equipment's not going to be maintained. You could have the equivalent of the rolling blackout in the factories where the plant is shut down for some period of time. That's not a good thing by any stretch. And so really you want these people to be able to operate the plant, keep it running, and that drives efficiency and it drives profits in the end for the company.
So how can Emerson Technologies and Solutions help?
Yeah, great question. I think that's why we're here. It's really something that Emerson has naturally integrated into the automation systems. So augmented reality is really part of and naturally integrated with the automation software that's monitoring the equipment and helping operators to maintain it, alerting them when something has happened. And this is something that is available naturally and just part of the products.
Well then, what other applications do you see in the near term for augmented reality?
I think some of the big ones are if people are going and finding a problem in the plant, sometimes they don't know which piece of equipment has actually got the problem. Well, we can actually take a mobile device, turn the camera on, point it at that piece of equipment, recognize that that's the one with the problem, which is quite interesting in and of itself, maybe connect them via video back to a central place where the knowledge workers happen to be. They have an interaction with each other, get some advice, and then maybe even put up a description of the maintenance procedure so that that worker on site as a technician can follow that procedure and get the work done. It really changes the way you think about work processes.
So this is all available right now?
All available today.
This was great, Rich. Thanks a lot for your time today. If folks want to learn more about Emerson's AR solutions, where can they go to get started?
Well, you can go to emerson.com and look up augmented reality, especially under the control systems and HMI environment. And this is a natural extension of those products.
Great stuff, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Rusty.